Hi, I'm Em, and this is Läser, which is Swedish for M Reads. As you probably have noticed already, it is now November, and that means that I've been booktubing for over a month now. Let's celebrate that with a silly dance. Yeah, I just embarrassed myself and put it for everyone to see on the internet. I heard that's a great way to start a YouTube career. Anyway, since October is over, it is time for me to do my first ever wrap-up and TBR. So now it's time for me to tell you what I read during the month of October. The first book I read in October is a book that I've already shown to you guys, and that book is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. After having read the first Harry Potter book during the month of September, I felt that I needed to continue rereading this series because Harry freaking Potter. So yeah, I read this and I enjoyed it a lot. It's not one of my favorite books in the series, but it's still Harry Potter and it's still lovely, and this edition is still freaking gorgeous. But anyway, I really enjoyed it and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And then I went straight ahead and picked up Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which happens to be my favorite book in the whole Harry Potter. The reason I like this one best out of all of them is because it's the book where the most of my favorite characters are an active part of the story. We're introduced to Sirius Black and Remus Lupin. Fred and George Weasley are a big part in it. And we also have Oliver Wood. And he's probably my favorite character in the whole Harry Potter series. Like, seriously, that guy is hilarious every time he's part of the story. I also like the Marauders era a lot, and this is our first glimpse into that part of the Harry Potter universe. So it's always nice to go back to it because it's just the best. Anyway, I enjoyed this a lot and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. While I felt like I did want to continue reading Harry Potter after I read 2 in a row, I decided that I needed to break from the Harry Potter universe, and I picked up my most anticipated release of this year. And that book is The Revenge of Seven by Pittacus Lore. This is the 5th book in the Lorien Legacies, which is also known as the I Am Number 4 series. I can't really tell you what it's about, seeing as it's the 5th book in a series, but I can say some things about what the series is about. This is a young adult science fiction series, and it's basically about aliens with magic powers, I guess you could say. It's very action-packed and there's always a lot of stuff going on, so it's a really exciting series to read, and it is definitely one of my all-time favorite series. Like, it's really good. It's that good. I love it. This particular installment probably wasn't my favorite though. It wasn't really as fast-paced as they usually are, and I feel like it was doing a lot of build-up for the next book in the series, which is kind of understandable seeing as the next book in the series is going to be the last one. I both do and don't want next year to come because I don't want the series to end, but I want to know how it ends. But anyway, it was still nice to dive back into this world that I love so much, so it deserved 5 out of 5 stars as well. Then I actually read a full graphic novel series. I picked up the first 2 volumes of this series at my local library, and they were so good that I had to check out all of them, and I got through all of them pretty quickly, and that series is the Scott Pilgrim series by Brian Lee O'Malley. I don't have all of them here right now, but I read all of them. And these were so good. I'm not usually very into graphic novels, but this series was amazing and perfect and just If you don't know what the series is about, it's about this guy called Scott, and Scott lives in Canada, and one day he meets this girl, Ramona, and he wants to date her. But in order to be able to actually date her, he has to fight and defeat Ramona's 7 evil exes. There's a lot of action and also a lot of humor, and the drawing style is just really pretty, and the writing is just phenomenal as well. I really enjoyed this series a lot. I gave all of the books in the series about 4 or 5 stars. There is a movie out based on all of the books in the series, and I look forward to rewatching it now that I've actually read the comics. The last book I read during October, I started reading during October but didn't finish until yesterday, so in the beginning of November, but I still read most of it during October, so I'm going to count it in my October wrap-up. And that book is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This book was the Little Book Club book of the month, and it was so good. I mean, it was Ready Player One good. Obviously, it wasn't good in the same way as Ready Player One, seeing as they are very different stories, but both of them had the same wow factor. They both left me thinking about them and wanting to read more, and I fell in love with this story, guys. It was so amazing. Vicious is about 2 college students, and these 2 college students discover that during certain circumstances, people can develop supernatural abilities like powers. And they decide that they want to try it out and get powers for themselves, but things go horribly wrong. 10 years after that, one of them, Victor, has just broken out of prison and he's determined to find the other guy, Eli, and kill him. Meanwhile, Eli is hunting down and killing off all people beside him that have supernatural abilities. The reason I love this so much is because the characters are so twisted and intriguing and excited to read about, and this book actually gave me the same vibe as the manga Death Note, as it's a story about right and wrong and two people hunting down each other and like who's the hero, who's the bad guy. You don't really know because everyone is so twisted, and it was really exciting to read and I loved every second of it. So naturally, I give this book 5 out of 5 stars. It is definitely one of the best books that I read this year. So yeah, that was everything that I read during October. While I usually don't like having a TBR list and putting goals of which books to read during a month, I have a lot of things that I want to get to this month, so I'm going to show them to you. First up, we have The Magicians by Lev Grossman. This is the first book in a trilogy that one of my friends really like. He let me borrow his copy of it and I've had it sitting on my shelves for a few months now, so I decided that now it is time for me to read this. I've only just started it, as you can see from where my bookmark is, but I have a feeling this is going to be a very interesting book. I actually don't know anything at all about this book. The friend that I borrowed the book from likes to go into books without knowing anything about them, so I decided to do the same for this one, and it's going to be really interesting, and yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. Next up, I have 3 books that are the book of the month for some of the book clubs I'm in, and I want to get to all 3 of them, hopefully, possibly, so yeah. First up is The Twister's Key by Tone Almjell, and it's the Little Book Club book of the month. Then we have Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan, and it's the Restricted Book Club book of the month. And last but not least, we have I'll Give You the Sun by Jenny Nelson, and it's the book of the month for my local book club called 1912. If I have time, besides this, I would like to read Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling, because I want to continue my reread of Harry Potter since I've gotten through so many of them already and I love Harry Potter, as you probably can tell. So yeah. And I also want to get to Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. I'm doing a buddy read for this one with a person I met on Goodreads. Yeah, basically, me and this girl I met are going to read this together. I don't really know when, if it will be in November or even later, but we'll see about that. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!